For our final episode of Cerealsly, let's review 3 different classic upper shelf cereals. How do cereals like these stay afloat? Why are there no varieties or variations of these cereals? Which one of these cereals would you miss the most if it disappeared? Friends, it's time to eat some cereal. Happy birthday, everybody. Welcome to Cerealsly, where we take cereals seriously. My name is Alex, and for the past 3 years, I have reviewed hundreds and hundreds of cereals with episodes every single week in order to help you get the most out of your cereal experience. Today on Cerealsly, the rumors are true. We have reached the end. This will be the final episode of Cerealsly. I have enjoyed almost every minute of creating and building this channel, and I could not be more grateful for those of you who tune in to spend time with me week by week. This project has been a joy. I've learned so much about hosting and editing and the triumphs and tribulations that come from being on YouTube, and it's too fresh for me to even imagine what it's going to be like not to have this great hobby to work on every week. But I'm excited to pursue even more creative projects in the future, so I'll do my best to share those as I'm able when they come into being. But before we get to the review, let me say something here one more time at the end of our run that I've said before. For me, Cerealsly was never really about the cereal. It was about learning new skills, about spending time together, about diving overly deep into something that I love. I hope you make those same things a priority in your life because they are life-giving. Truly, this channel was my small attempt to reduce the sogginess of the world. And in that, I feel satisfied. In choosing what cereals to review for this last ever episode, I went with 3 cereals that may seem like a strange choice to you, but let me explain. All 3 of these fall into what I've always called upper shelf cereals. Now, I realize that they could just as easily be found on the lowest shelf, but the name upper shelf has always been the visual that's made the most sense to me. Here's what it means. In the cereal aisle, it's commonly known that the most kid-friendly cereals are purposely given the most prominence on the middle-ish shelves. That's where little ones will see them the easiest and grab them and throw them into the cart. Those are not the kind of cereals we're looking at today, because there is a different group of cereals that don't have the pizzazz to make it to those eye-level shelves. But if you raise your eyes up, you will be amazed that some of the most classic cereals are incredibly still there. These are the cereals you know of, you remember somehow, but you haven't actually eaten in years. These are the ones that you might think are already long gone, but no, they're sat right where they've always been, faithfully looking down, like the statues of saints of old on a Gothic cathedral. On the proverbial top shelf are other cereals that I love. They are my favorites. Crispix and Cracklin' Oat Bran are up there, both of which we've covered on their own special episodes. But the 3 we're looking at today are these: Raisin Nut Bran, Oatmeal Crisp, and Basic 4. How many of these have you even had? What other cereals would you include in that kind of upper shelf category? Now hear me out. I chose these for my final review for a few reasons. First, because I made a list of cereals I would kick myself for not covering, and these all were on it. Secondly, these cereals are so faithfully present. I hope that when you see them on your store shelves for years to come, you will think of Cerealsly. Which leads to my final reason. I'm choosing to review these on my final episode because I feel a kinship between these cereals and this channel. Cerealsly, just like these upper shelf cereals, has not been flashy. We're not sought out. We don't get a lot of press or buzz, but we have attempted for these past 3 years to be steady and good. I hope that's what you've experienced in your time watching. And for what it's worth, out of sheer happenstance, we will end this channel by reviewing 3 General Mills cereals, just like we did on our first episode. It's like poetry. They rhyme. So for now, I want to use all of my cereal expertise to help you decide if you need a bowl of these 3 classic upper shelf cereals. Hey, if you made it this far in the video, that's incredible. I usually ask you to do me a favor, to like this video and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment with what cereal we should look at together in a future episode. But dear ones, there are no future episodes. So feel free to respond with likes and comments, but you owe me nothing more. And the fact that you're here right now means the world to me. And the truth is, I think I'm ready. I have got my bowls. I have got my spoon. I have got my trusty, faithful 1% milk. And of course, I have the cereals of the hour. I don't remember in what order I introduced them, and so I think I want to start with the oatmeal crisp. What is this? Crispy flakes, oat clusters, crunchy almonds. That sounds fantastic. You know, one thing I noticed right off the bat is all three of these cereals are quite calorie dense. A 1 cup serving of this first one is 230 calories. The Basic 4 is 200 calories. And the Raisin Nut Bran is 240 calories per cup. So these cereals are some serious biz. All right, let's open this one up and see what it looks like in a bowl. Well, it looks light brown. That's what it looks. Wow, this is not flashy at all. I was absolutely right about that. But the scent coming off of it, yum. It's like a maple syrup smell almost. Does it have maple syrup in it? No, but it does have honey and brown sugar syrup, so I wonder if that's what I'm smelling. Yum. I say we dive right in. Let's give a try to Oatmeal Crisp Dry. Yum, super crunchy, a little more dense than the flakes that I'm used to eating. And the grain almost has like a darkness, a depth to it. Are these just better cereals than I am used to? It does have a sweet coating on it, and I can taste the oats from the oatmeal clusters for sure. I'm excited to put milk on this. Let's jump right to that. All right, friends, let us try Oatmeal Crisp in milk. Yum. It's hearty. It's sweet. It's really helped out by the almond slivers that are in here. If you can manage to get one of those in every bite, I think you'll be sitting pretty. Let me do that. Let me take one more bite. Well, I get it. This is a parent cereal. Maybe not quite a grandparent cereal, but if you're a young person trying to get out there in the world and speed up your maturing a little bit, you need to go out and get a box of Oatmeal Crisp. It'll make you feel middle-aged. Is that a good tagline? You know what, though? This cereal is begging for some fruit in it. If I had some raisins or craisins or banana nearby, this would really be well served by some sort of chunk of fruit. And I think that's what we're going to find in these next two cereals. So let's move on to our second upper shelf cereal. Let's go with Basic 4 next. What are the 4? This seems crazy, but there are 5 things in this cereal. It lists coated vanilla clusters, sweet and tangy fruit. What fruit? Crispy rice puffs, crunchy almonds, but then of course it also has flakes, which I think are wheat flakes. Oh, the fruit is both raisins and dried cranberries. Boy, have they painted themselves into a corner by calling this Basic 4, including the flakes. This should be Basic 6. What an odd title for this. Another thing I'm noticing about these is that these are heavy boxes of cereal. Good. If I'm trying to eat a mature upper shelf cereal, I want it to be heavy. Crispix is an exception to that. Wow, for a cereal that has Basic in the title, there was quite a bit going on as I poured this into a bowl. If they invented this now, they might call it Complicated 6. But the format that some of these ingredients in is so odd. The raisins are the tiniest raisins I have ever seen. When they're sorting out the raisins, this must be at the very end of the line where the most minuscule raisins that are barely existing go. But I'm okay with that. I think that'd actually be good for this cereal. The flakes themselves look as bland can be, but they never promise us anything more than that. So let's give this a try. Let us try Basic 4 Dry. Boy, there is so much going on in my mouth. There's so many textures and flavors. Some things crunch, and some things are crispy, and some things are chewy, and I do not know what to make of it. This cereal is wild stuff. I gotta put some milk on it, see if that brings it all together somehow. All right, let's try Basic 4 in milk. Milk is exactly what this needed. The milk creates harmony. Now it tastes like bran flakes with everything you would have wanted to have put in here. It's like this cereal is thinking ahead for you. I'm surprised that in all of this, I can still taste the almond slivers. I thought those were going to get lost. I can still taste the crispy rice. This is fulfilling every wish I had in the oatmeal crisp. These two cereals are great partners for each other. Yum, yum, yum. I'm really glad I tried that. All right, one more to go. Raisin Nut Bran. What a title. What do they have going on in here? They've got crispy flakes, covered raisins. Covered in what, my friends? It doesn't necessarily say. Covered in something. And then again, crunchy almonds. Crunchy almonds have been in all of these. It's a major component of upper shelf cereals from General Mills, it turns out. Wow, I thought the other one was being dodgy by lumping raisins and craisins together into fruit. But this one not telling us what these raisins are covered by, covered with. Not that it's going to keep me from trying it. Let's try these. Let's open them up and see what they look like in a bowl. It really seemed to me like maybe older people were a little too scared by all the visual madness going on in Basic 4. And so they took the raisins and covered them with something equally brown as the flakes, so that visually it comes out all one color. It's kind of like, calm down, everybody. There's stuff in here, but you don't need to worry yourself about it. Because I know that these are almond slivers, but it's almost like a treasure hunt to decide which of these other things are covered raisins. I mean, here they are, but that is some beige cereal going on, my friends. It doesn't look bad. It just doesn't look like anything at all. I can't wait to try this. Let us give a try to Raisin Nut Bran Dry. Boy, I'm sure I've had these before, but they taste very strange to me. Maybe it's the stuff around the raisins that I'm not enjoying very much. Let's try one by one. Here's a flake. Seems pretty normal. Here's a crispy almond. Yum. Now here's a covered raisin. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those covered raisins. It's like covered in dust. In Basic 4, they have yogurt clusters, and combined with the craisins and raisins and that definitely tasted like yogurt covered raisins that I'm a big fan of. This is like something else covered raisins, and I'm not sure my brain is getting it. Maybe if we put some milk on it. That's rescued cereals in the past. Let's put some milk on it, see what that does. All right, let us give a try to Raisin Nut Bran in milk. Boy, that helped a lot. It's almost like it washed all of the weird stuff off of the raisins. Why was it on there in the first place? I don't think I'm understanding Raisin Nut Bran. What a curious and delightful final cereal to be eating on this channel. Well, let's bring all three of these back and take a look. It's almost like we have an entire spectrum happening here. Oatmeal Crisp had very little going on in it. Basic 4 was not basic at all. It was tons of things happening. And then Raisin Nut Bran in the middle with kind of some intrigue and weirdness. Listen, I think all that's left is to give these three cereals a rating out of 5. Well, friends, it has never been more true than today, but we have done it all. We talked, we ate. For the past 3 years, we have taken every facet of taste and texture into consideration, and now it's enough. Let's go through some of my final verdicts on these. Let's talk first about Oatmeal Crisp. There wasn't much of anything happening in Oatmeal Crisp. I thought it was fine. I felt like an adult eating it. I'm going to give Oatmeal Crisp a 3 out of 5. After Oatmeal Crisp, we went straight to Wackyville with Basic 4, the most strangely named cereal ever. I didn't think I would, but I rather enjoyed this one. All of the strange, disparate stuff came together, especially in milk, into quite a pleasant experience. So it's likely the one I had the most fun with. I am going to give Basic 4 a 4 out of 5. This one I would definitely revisit. Finally, we had Raisin Nut Bran. What in the world is happening in this cereal? I've heard that some of you really like this one. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. Why didn't they just have raisins in this? It still would have been Raisin Nut Bran. They didn't need the odd, dusty, sweet coating that they have going on here. And so, because of my inability to comprehend what was happening in my mouth, I'm going to give Raisin Nut Bran a 1 out of 5. I don't think I would buy another box. When it comes to these upper shelf cereals, they must be beloved by someone, right? Again, I think that's what people have thought for 3 years about this channel. And I'm thankful for those for whom it was true. Hey, if you want to try today's cereal for yourself, you can find them everywhere. Just look up. And when you do, will you think of me? Now listen, though it won't be current or weekly, I really would love to spend even more cereal time together. And YouTube thinks that you're going to enjoy the videos that are on screen now, so check those out or the rest of our library of past episodes for a nostalgic hit of Cerealsly anytime. Until we meet again, never be soggy, my friends.